An evolving family is one that relies upon discipline rather than punishment to change behavior. I realize that both of those terms may be a bit controversial or sensitive for some people, so I want to clarify what I mean by both of them so that we know that we're talking about the same things. And I'll start with punishment. Punishment is the idea of applying or inflicting pain or discomfort on someone else to change behavior. And that may be physical, mental, or emotional. It doesn't matter. Punishment tends to work in the short term. It's possible to change someone's behavior and do it decisively in the short term with punishment. And there are countless studies in psychology, specifically with lab animals and really unfortunate techniques like electric shock and things of that nature, that aptly demonstrate that. What punishment does is it creates an environment of fear and distrust. It creates disconnection between people, and in a family, you really need the connection. In any kind of relationship, honestly, you need that connection, whether it's your partner or your children or your extended family or your coworkers or your boss. That connection is important. And it's interesting that I've worked with several mentors who've said precisely the same thing. There's really no such thing as a behavior problem. The problem always comes from the relationship, right? And that would be because of how the relationship is managed and how each party treats the other. So if there is a behavior problem, it is very likely that there's some form of punishment happening. Discipline, on the other hand, is the process of influencing behavior, and it is with the goal of increasing the responsibility and accountability of the other party. Discipline teaches how to do something or teaches how to solve problems so that you can figure out what the right thing to do is by yourself, rather than teaching what not to do. So punishment, we're talking about don't do this. In discipline, we're talking about do this. This is the guidance. So discipline in this respect is very, very positive. And that's not to say that there aren't constraints, there aren't boundaries, there aren't firm no's about certain things. And we'll talk about those as we dive into other types of material. But in an evolving family, the focus is on discipline, it's on guidance, because we know that the punishment side of things, the focusing on the no, doesn't work in the long term. And while those short-term wins, when we can get somebody to do something that's been a struggle, that feels like a really great thing, it's not, because we want to make these decisions, especially as parents, over the long term, because our responsibility is over the longer term.